right, guys, today we're going to talk about pre-tax and post-tax. So basically, what pre-tax is taxes that come out of your total amount that you have earned. Post-taxes are taxes that come out after that group of pre-taxes have already been taken out. You're probably wondering, why do they do that? They do that so things that are categorized as post-taxes are calculated as a smaller amount than if they were to be taken out of your original amount. So when we do an example, it'll kind of help with that, help understand that. So in this section, each job will have a set federal tax. This federal tax is going to be 15% and a state tax of 7%. Federal and state taxes are both post taxes. That's one thing that the government has given us, which is nice. Now, FICA, that's Medicare and Social Security. This is always going to be a pre-tax, and I always say, why is it a pre-tax? Because we love old people. But the reality is not only old people are on Medicare, but it's just something that I say to be funny. Anyway, so out of this, in these examples, those are the only taxes coming out of your paycheck, so that's all you have to worry about. So let's look at number one. You earn $14 an hour and are paid every 2 weeks. So your pay period is every time you get a check. So every 2 weeks is when you're going to get a paycheck. You work 40 hours each week. So first you want to figure out your gross pay, which is how much you earned in that 2 week period. So $14 an hour. Sorry, I'm trying to make it so you can see the calculator. $14 an hour times 40 hours a week gives you $560 per week. And it says you're going to get paid every 2 weeks. So I'm going to multiply that by 2 to get 2 weeks. So that means your gross pay is going to be $1,120. Now, every time you figure a tax amount or multiply to get a percentage, you're going to do the decimal form of the percent. So right here, I'm just going to put on the side FICA. This is a pre-tax. Federal and state, these are post-taxes, and then I'm also going to write the decimal form of the percent. So FICA is 7.65%, but the decimal form of that is 0.0765, and I did that by taking the decimal and moving it twice to the left. That gives me the decimal form of the percent. Federal tax is 15%, which is 0.15 in decimal form. State tax is 7%, which is 0.07 in decimal form. Now you'll notice that there's a column here called adjusted gross. That means that this is going to be the total gross amount, the total amount of pay after your pre-tax has been taken out. And that amount is what your post-taxes will come out of. So that's what I mean. It's a smaller number, which means the percent of it is going to be smaller than if you took 15% of your total gross. So yay, federal and state. All right, so let's calculate our FICA. So I take $1,120, and I'm going to multiply it by 0.0765 to get 7.65% of 1,120. So I take 1,120 times 0.0765. and I get $85.68. So you're always going to round to 2 decimals if there are more numbers, because when you're dealing with money, there's always 2 numbers after the decimal. So $85.68 is going to be how much you pay for FICA, $85.68. Now your adjusted gross is going to be your gross pay minus your pre-taxes. So I'm going to take 1,120 and I'm going to subtract that pre-tax of $85.68. In this example, there's only one pre-tax, and that's going to give me my adjusted gross. So I take my calculator once again, hopefully you can see it, 1,120 minus $85.68. That gives me my adjusted gross value of $1,034.32. So now your federal and state taxes are going to be calculated from your adjusted gross value. So it's going to be calculated out of this value here. I don't know why I just drew a circle there. Oh crap, 32. Okay, so then to get my federal, I do the same thing I did up here. I take my adjusted gross and I multiply it by the decimal form of the percent. So 1,034 $1,034.32 times 0.15 to get federal, and that's 155.15 because that 8 makes the 4 round up to a 5. So that's going to be 155.15 is your federal, the amount that you give to the federal government. And then here 1,034.32 times 0.07, 1,034.32 times 0.07 to get how much we're going to give to the state government. And that's going to be 72.40. That would stay at 0. So 72.40. It's so depressing once you look at all the things coming out of your paycheck. But anyway, so the net pay right here. The net pay is the total amount that your paycheck will be. So there's 2 ways you can find out your net pay. You can take your gross pay and subtract the taxes, or you can take your adjusted gross and subtract those taxes. So I'm just going to take my adjusted gross, $1,034.32, and I'm going to subtract federal 155.15 and state 72.4, and that gives me $806.77. Now, if you've ever had a job where taxes are taken out of your paycheck, then you're going to say, okay, $806 sounds about right for a paycheck of $1,120. It actually sounds really good. Like, that's actually pretty high. So that's what you're going to be doing for this assignment. You're going to be taking out the pre-taxes and the post-taxes. The biggest thing to remember is that federal and state taxes are both post, and FICA, which is Social Security, and Medicare are going to be pre-taxes. When you go down, you're going to see some bigger examples where they're going to have a little bit more coming out of your paycheck. For example, right here, we have health insurance, and it's going to tell you that it's a pre-tax. So health insurance is deducted prior to calculating federal and state. There are no other taxes. Here's monthly salary. That means your gross here would simply just be $2,000. Don't make it harder than it is. It is as easy as it says. So you're going to do the exact same process here, except now you have this insurance, which is $100. You're going to calculate FICA out of the $2,000, then subtract FICA and $100 to get the adjusted gross. Federal and state come out of the adjusted gross, net income. So that is pre-tax and post-tax quickly explained. As you go further in the assignment, you're going to have more things that come out like pre-tax, a 401k retirement plan, post-tax health insurance, dental insurance, etc., and so forth. So just make sure you are paying attention to everything and filling in the columns. If you need any help, go ahead and send me a message or just ask. Hopefully you guys are doing great. If you need to rewind and look at it again, just do so, do what you need. Hope you guys are great.